We're now going to work to create the working drawings for our metals project, benchwork project. So when I have my model open, when I'm finished with it, I'm going to come over here to design and I'm going to click drawing from design. It's going to ask that we save this first, and so I'm going to make sure that I save this as metals project. And then I can create a drawing from it. So under the template type, I'm going to select the CTE size A title block, and I'll click OK. That will open the drawing sheet that we're going to be using for this part. The next thing that's going to happen is it's going to start to bring in the front view of the object. Over here under scale, I'm going to select that I want the scale to be 1. So that's going to be a 1:1 scale. And under the style options, I'm going to select shaded. So once I have that done, I'm just going to click to place a front view of the object. Then I'm going to select OK. From there, we're going to project a bottom view of the object. So I'll click here. So you will project down that other view. And so once I do that, I'll pull it down and I'll click the little button to place it, and I'll go ahead and click OK. Looks like I have a weird view over here. So if that happens to you and you get a view that you don't want, just right click on it and say delete. We're also going to include a 3D isometric view in our assembly drawing for this. So I'm going to click project again. I'm going to select the front face of it, and I'm going to come up here and place a isometric view for it by projecting it and clicking the green check mark. The next thing that we need to do for our assembly drawing is to put in a table. So over here under tables, I'm going to select part list. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to place it in the top left corner. And when I do that, it's going to start putting in some of the parts for our part list. And it's going to put a balloon in. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to select that balloon and hit delete. And I'm going to automatically balloon my parts. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select balloon. So I'm noticing that the base part won't allow me to balloon it, and so I'm going to go back to my original file, the actual model, and I can see that what's happened is I've placed this set screw inside the base model. And so I'm going to click on that set screw and I'm going to come up and place it under the metals project. What that has done is created both of these as individual components within the design. And so now if I save that, click OK, and I go back to my drawing, and I'm going to delete this part list, and I'm going to click this little link up here to relink the files. Now when I create a new part list, both parts are going to come in and both balloons are going to come in. And so if you run into that problem, it's probably because the set screw is within the base part component within the design. So I'm going to delete both of those balloons. I'm going to come over here and I'm actually going to balloon them from this view. So I'll click to add a balloon here. And then I'm going to click to add a balloon to the set screw. And I'm going to drag that one down here and place it. And you can see that this text is fairly large. And so what I'm going to do is come over here in my browser. And under document settings, I'm going to select text height. And I'm going to change the text height on small text height to 70 thousandths, under medium text height to 70 thousandths, and under large text height to 70 thousandths. And when I do that, it's going to allow my text height to be a little smaller. I'm going to move the 3D one so it's not interfering with the description box here. And I'm going to make sure that my balloons are selected on the object correctly. The next thing that we're going to do is add a description to both of those parts. So I'm going to go back to my metals project where the model is. I'm going to select the base component. So that component is active. I'm going to right click on it and I am going to select, I'm going to select Properties. The Properties panel will pop up over here on the right. And under Description, I am going to type 1/4 inch plate cut to size with bandsaw. So once I have that done, I'll go ahead and hit enter, and then I'll close that box. Then I'm going to select the cap screw. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to select Properties. And within the description box of this, I'm going to say it is a 1/4 -20, so 20 threads per inch, by 0.25 inch fastener. And those are the notes I'm going to add to it. I'll go back up here to the metals project, the assembly, and I'll click Save. I'll click OK. I'll go back to my drawing sheet then, and I will click to re-update the file, and you'll notice that the descriptions will come in here. So that takes care of our assembly drawing. We're now going to create the detail drawing for the base part. So I'm going to go ahead and click to add a new sheet. Under the views, I'm going to click Base View, and I want to place a front view in again, but I'm going to make the scale 1. And I'll go ahead and click to place that front view, the object. And this time, instead of it being shaded style, I'm going to say visible with hidden edges, and I'm going to click OK. Under the sheet over here, I am going to uncheck the set screw file because we're not detailing the set screw for this, and I'll click to place it, uncheck it. So only thing we're dimensioning is the base. From there, I'm going to project a right side view of the object, and I'm going to project a 3-dimensional view of the object. On the 3-dimensional view, I'm going to select it, right click to select it, and say Edit View, and I'm going to change that one to be shaded, and click OK. From here, we're going to need to add some center marks, so I'm going to click Center Mark, and I'm going to click on the hole to make a center mark. Then I'm going to click on Center Line, and I'm going to select the 2 hidden lines that represent the hole to put a center line in. From there, I'm going to work to dimension the object. So I'm going to select this point with the dimension tool. I'm going to select this point, and I'm going to put a dimension down for the overall width. I'm going to select this point and this point to put a dimension for the overall width to the edge. I'm going to select this line here and drag out a dimension for the height of the object. And then I'm going to select this point and this point to represent the overall height of the object. The last dimension that we have to add is the depth of the object, or the thickness, and so I'm going to select this point to this point, pull down my dimension for that, and we have the dimension selected. The last thing that we need to dimension is the hole, and so I'm going to come over here to Tables and click Hole Table. It's going to ask us to select the origin for where we want the holes to be dimensioned from. Right now it's not letting me select this origin, and so I'm going to delete this dimension right here real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the hole table in again. Then it will allow me to select the origin. The hole table will come in, and you can see that in the X direction it's 2, in the Y direction it is 0.75. And then I'm going to come back and dimension the overall width of this object again, and put that dimension right here. So because it wouldn't allow me to do that, that's why I had to delete that dimension. But that takes care of your detail drawings for your metals benchwork project. You want to make sure you go ahead and save that.